Welcome back to another Pauper Regulation Deck Tech video on the Wondercat channel. You know what we're covering today? You saw it on the thumbnail. It's Blue Birds. Now, the average player I've mentioned this to has gone, Blue Birds? And like, it's completely unheard of, which is definitely amusing. It's great. But make no mistake, because this deck has enough birds, it's got feet to stand on, and as discussed in our red birds list, it's certainly spicier too. The deck is going to be running two side-by-side engines that actually complement each other quite well. With all that said and done though, let's get right into it with our Ego EX7's Hiyarymon. This cutie patootie is a once per turn when attacking. If your opponent controls no Digimon with Digivolution cards, draw one. We play Hiyari because it allows us to play some more exotic birds and gives the deck a free level 4 Digivolution, which is pretty rare in the Pauper format. Our other potential option, BT3 Demi Vmon, something I was originally testing and seemed to like more, especially due to a lot of the jamming inheritance you'll see in the future. But you'll find out shortly why we've changed. Our Rockies consist of our Searcher and one of the very few non-birds, BT21's Floramon. On play, dig 3, add 1 Digimon with the bird or avian in any of its traits, and 1 Digimon with the WG trait, Wind Guardian. So it can dig for itself if necessary, but will hit the majority of our deck, so it's an auto-include 4. You gotta have your searches, right? Inherited giving jamming, which is useful as we go into our mid-game level 4, level 5 swings. It also has a pre-release event promo, so it's a pretty cool deck. It's a pretty cool card. No bird deck is complete without Biomon, and luckily enough we have a fantastic Bio in blue to play with. 4 copies of EX6 Bio, a 3-cost play blocker with jamming inherited. Having blocker on a level 3, incredibly useful as a potential turn ender, will set us up comboing off with our other cards as we go over later on in the list. This card also gets the foil treatment with the original regulation format event, so even if you do build this deck, you can pimp it out even more with this. Get a prettier version, all these nice little petals and flowers and stuff. Very, very, very cute. Though the original art is still very gorgeous. Gotta love the Koki art. Our last level 3 full playset of EX8 Penguinmon. This fella branches into yellow, has a digicost of 0, specifically on Hiyari, which is why we play the Hiyari versus our other potential option, the Demi V I previously mentioned. Penguinmon has the passive effect when it would digivolve into an Ice Snow trait Digimon, reduce the digicost by 1. Won't always be relevant, but we also want to run this due to its pretty strong inherited. When attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -1 security till the end of their next turn, removing aggressive gameplay by the opponent. Oh, gotta love it. Penguin is also an avian, which means he's searchable off our Floramon, and I love the yellow inclusion for the deck. Just looks a little prettier. This particular small Ice Snow shell also means we do better into aggro decks versus just having more jamming inheritance. I think the lack of consistency on our egg is a fair trade-off here. Following on with the Ice Snow inclusion, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Hyogamon from BT11, a vanilla Digimon with a digicost of 1. It'll speed up our deck slightly on our Bio or Flora Digi, or just completely ignore digicost, digivolving on top of our Penguinmon. Oh, free real estate, love it. Our level 4 slot is a bit more flex heavy here, which is why we play the 3 copies. It's obviously not a main part of the deck, nor is it going to be searchable. 3 copies is enough. We're going to be seeing it to benefit off its low Evo cost, but it's not going to be something we see all the time. Next, a single copy of Kiwimon from BT21. Kiwimon's another WG trait Mon with the Ancient Bird trait, meaning it can be used as either side of Floramon's search, WG or Bird. A nice little bonus. A digicost of 2, and all turns when this Digimon is suspended, draw 1. It's not bad. Kiwimon is the least important part of our level 4 lineup, which is why we're going to play the 1 copy. It's important that we play 1 to keep up our bird consistency. Here's a play cost of 4, which isn't too bad either, I guess. Another jamming inherited, so we can go from Penguinmon to this, and we still have solid inheriteds that don't conflict with each other. One of the biggest problems with this deck as I was building it was realizing that we just build stacks that just have 3 sources of jamming. Like, we don't need that. Our next level 4, 3 copies of Shinkeimon. Shinkeimon? I'm not sure. The Bird from BT19. On play for 5, digicost of 2, bounce a level 3 back to your opponent's hand. It's not super big in terms of value, it's still something, I guess. The important part of this card is that it's both an avian and aquatic traded mon, meaning it's a Floramon searchable, and it's going to combo with our top end. Perfect. Our last level 4, EX6's Shinkeimon, another 3 of. On play, draw 1, and if played from Digivolution cards, gain a memory. We do have ways of playing this from materials, and with a play cost of 4, we can always just throw this down on board and still get some value off the card draw. Like its BT19 variant, it's both an avian and aquatic type. This level 4 lineup being a 3-3-3-1 split means that it's particularly open-ended, will give us plenty of options during the mid-game for what we want to do. No level 4 game is going to be the same. Level 5 time, these are some pretty basic inclusions. 4 copies of BT21's Digimon. This little bush burb has avid stapled onto it, which is a pretty sweet keyword for protection. When it would be deleted, suspend this Digimon to prevent its deletion. On play or when digivolving, for a cost of 3, one of your WG Digimon may unsuspend. This ability allows us to swing safely with our level 4. That will hopefully have jamming from our rookies to digi into this, unsuspend, and swing again if you're feeling greedy. Of course, you can use this to restand your Kiwimon or Floramons to swing into security if you'd rather keep Digimon unsuspended to keep evade protection active. So it's a trade-off. Play aggressively or play defensively with evade, up to you, you know. Inherited, its attack target can't change. Very strong for our top end. Gets around pesky blocker decks or decks that look to change attack targets, the likes of black. Its only crux is its power stat, only being 7k. It's a little underwhelming. But our other level 5 is a little stronger in comparison. 3 copies of BT23's Waymon. So I've thought about this a little. I don't think this Waymon's going to make it into our Waymon combo list, but by golly does he put in work here. 9k body for a digicost of 3. All turns, when it would leave the field outside of your effects, play any level 4 or lower blue Digimon from its materials for free. This means that with BT19's Jing, we can get a bounce level 3 for free, or with our EX6 variation, we get free draw and +1 memory. If we need to play defensively, push out the blocker Biomon, or if digging for other pieces, play Floramon to, you know, bump up your hand advantage. Waymon's Inherited is the same, which is brilliant in the case our opponent is ever actually able to remove our level 6 threat from the board. We'll still keep some semblance of a board state around. I'm glad I could find a place for this good boy despite him not being in the Waymon deck. I guess Waymon's really grown on me, you know. Level 6 time. We're possibly one of the strongest level 6s in Pauper. We're going to be playing the full playset of Zhang Pengmon. Digicost of 5, fairly high, but when digivolving, not only does he unsuspend a Digimon you control, but by placing one of your aquatic or sea animals underneath it from the board, gaining 3 memory, making it a 2-cost Digi. This absolute unit of a card is a 13k blocker with Sec +1. Not a lot of decks are going to be able to get, like, brute force their way through this thing. This was our support level 6 in the Waymon list, and a big part of the combo popping off, but it's a good enough to be played as the full playset here. Despite not having a large amount of aquatics, both our Jinkeimons and Waymon are all valid targets for its when digivolving effect, and to top it off, it's searchable by Floramon due to it being a holy bird Digimon. Yes, it's our level 3 digs our level 6. Oh, it's brilliant. Considering it's also just a Birdmon in general, this card is all we could ever ask for in a top-end piece. Just thematically. It's brilliant. It's awesome. This card also means that with a stack of Jamming level 3, a Kiwimon, Deramon into this, we could swing with Kiwi, draw 1 or 2 with the egg, Digivolve into Dera, unsuspend with Dera's Digivolving, swing with Dera, then proceed to Digi into Zhangpeng, unsuspend itself and swing again for another 2 checks, meaning this stack alone can threaten 4 checks in a single turn, which is pretty disgusting. Our support level 6 for this list though, 2 copies of Regal Kusmon from BT10. Not only does he trash 2 Digivolution cards on Digivolving for a cost of 3, when attacking, if your opponent has a Digimon, not no Digimon, just has a Digimon with no Digivolution materials, Regal just allows you to play a level 3 and a level 4 blue Digimon from underneath itself for free. Oh my god. Spitting out 2 Digimon just for us doing what we want to do to keep our egg effect online. It's brilliant. I love it. It's great. It means we get a free blocker or search on swing, or a free bounce, card draw, and memory gain. Our level 3s and level 4s putting in work. You love to see it. It's not nearly as good a threat as our Lord Birbs Zhang Pengmon, but if we do need to go wide, it'll do the job. He sits at 11k, so our average DP stat line, but if he can spit out those extra bodies before he leaves the board and can still threaten a check or 2, I think he's done his job. If playing a traditional aquatic deck, this card is also an amazing top end, and I could see it definitely being played as a 4-off. Onto our options though, 4 copies of Howling Memory Boost, our only blue memory boost we can play, and we play the 4 because it helps enable our ego, and we have that extra memory or 2. Helps us on turns where we don't have the spare aquatic mon on board to reduce our Zhangpeng Evo. It's a great turn 3 play into your opponent after going from Penguinmon into Hyagomon for free, keeping up pressure and stripping their stack, stopping them from attacking. Like, if we weren't playing the Ice Snow Shell, we would probably only play 2 to 3 copies, but this card puts in so much more work for us with these inclusions, it's well worth the playset. Next, one copy of Kaizenal and one copy of Tidal Wave. Seen in our Whale combo list, these two cards are great for replaying out our materials. Kaizenal, a 4-cost play a blue Digimon from materials for free, and Tidal Wave, same thing, but we can choose 2 targets from a Digimon for a cost of 7. Both benefit greatly since the majority of our deck all has some form of solid on-play effect, and both trigger when in security, leading to surprise bodies during your opponent's turn. You could play 2 of one or the other, but it does feel incredibly bad when you play or when you draw Tidal Wave and you don't have 2 good targets, or you have a Zhangpeng and you draw Kaiser and not Tidal Wave. So I think the 1-1 split gives us good flexibility. Our newest option addition, though, from BT23, a single copy of Ice Archery. Betamon might not be in the deck, but he does get to be included in the art. A 5-cost option locks down a Tamer and a Digimon until your opponent's turn. The end of your opponent's turn, stopping them from being able to suspend. On delay, when a CS trait attacks, do it again. We only play the 1 copy because I like it as a spicy inclusion. I wanted to play some of the CS, these level 5, play cost 5 options. Sadly, only our Waymon can trigger it, which is one of the other reasons why we only play it. It's a one-off. But being able to lock down a Tamer or a naughty threat for a turn might just be what we need to stall for game. A turn, if you don't think we can warrant playing this as a one-off, or you feel like you need more reason to be able to play it more aggressively, cut Howling Memory down to 3, add the 4th Waymon just to increase the chances of triggering its delay effect. Security Effect does the same thing, then puts this on board. Our last option, 2 copies of Summon Frost. Another 5-cost option, trash the top 2 materials from all of your opponent's Digimon. Oh, very, very strong. If it doesn't trash anything, play a Penguinmon or your Hyagomon from hand for free. Then, until the end of their turn, Digimon with no materials can attack. It's another potential stall/freeze card that helps out our Egg Inherited, and if it's hit in security, again allows us to play Digimon during their turn. It's not a bad card by any means, but its strength comes from the fact it hits an entire board's worth of materials. If we strip 4 materials off of 2 Mons, it already feels incredibly valuable. Stopping them from attacking, if not having materials, is just the cherry on top. But, onto our Tamers. Last. 1 copy of Christy Damon, a 3-cost red Tamer, starter main. If you control a Burb or Avian in traits, gain 1 memory. Will trigger off everything outside our Waymon and Regal, and I guess our Hyago, but it's whatever. Give 1 of your Digimon on deletion, on play a Biomon from hand or trash for free. Since we only play the 4 Bio, this isn't nearly as important as what it was in our red list when we were playing 9 of them, so the 1 copy will just help with the memory gain each turn. Our other one of Tamer, a single copy of Homer. Originally cut from Waymon, he makes an appearance here on play, playing out a level 3 blue Digimon from materials, being able to play out our Floramon to dig, level 3 blue Digimon, being able to play out our Floramon to dig, or continue keeping out Bio blockers. We like to recycle that Bio blocker when possible. All turns when you play a blue Digimon, you can suspend him to throw one of your level 4 or lower blue Digimon underneath it. Not nearly as important overall, since we want to keep our level 4s on board for Zhangpeng, but it can be a good way to re-trigger on plays and stuff with the likes of Kaizenal and Lastly, 4 copies of Goro, because he triggers off literally everything except for Regal and Hyoga. A check tamer that by returning him to hand, when your Digimon are played or Digivolve, one of your Digimon gets a 3k boost, then one of your Digimon may attack. This turns our Zhangpeng into a 16k monster. It beefs up our Regal if we trigger this off playing our smaller Mons. Goro will keep up our memory, ensure that despite all our jamming, the odd occasion where we might not have it, he can still keep our Mons alive. Due to his wording, he gives pseudo blitz, which means if we can't keep memory with our Zhangpeng Digivolution, or we just don't want to throw our other birds under it, we can still unsuspend it, trigger Goro to buff it, then swing for 2 checks before passing turn. All in all, I'm personally going to have much more fun playing with this list versus the red variation, though the red is definitely very aggressive. It has so much more card draw and has pretty solid DP base removal. It's very up in the air as to what list is arguably stronger, but I think the blue list is probably going to be more fun. Both lists are great thematically. I'm so happy that they've turned out the way they did. Feel free to let me know down below if you plan on building either one, and if you build both, which one you like more. The deck, again, a measly 10-ish Australian, 6 USD. Don't you build it for free if you got enough bulk laying around, I'm absolutely adoring this format for the amount of shenanigans one can accomplish on such a budget. A lot of these newer sets, especially with all the new CS stuff, has made it really, really fun for deck building in these multicolored sort of lists and the open-endedness of it all. I've got like 3 decks already that I'm still working on. I hope you enjoyed this one, lads. Very big thank you for all the support and love I've been receiving lately. It's cool to see my name being brought up on occasion in regards to the Pauper format. I want to see more love for it as well, because I think it's very fun and it's a breath of fresh air compared to some of the more disgusting combos and whatnot we see in the constructive format. But yeah, until next time, look after yourself. Ta-ta.